Alright, so here sits the 2750. As you can see, it has the hood off, stuff's missing, there's tools laying everywhere. And well, Saturday whenever I used it, it always used water. No matter how much, actually it used it so bad to the point where we quit dumping antifreeze and it would just dump water in it. But it would always use it and we never knew where it went. So then, well, Saturday it was sitting outside and I was dumping water in it like usual. I mean, it would like drain it empty. And I just happened to look inside the water pump and it was dumping out the back of the water pump. It wasn't really dumping, it was just a slow trickle. So, as you can see, it's sitting in here. We tore the water pump out. There's no water pump. Right there's where it would go. And let me tell you, if you have to tear the radiator, which you do, it makes it a lot easier if you tear the radiator out. But there's little, let me see if this is still plugged in here. Of course not. The grandfather's nuts about unplugging extension cords. But as you can see, there's pins in here that hold the radiator in. And those pins will rust tight. I ended up beating the ever-loving crap out of this one and couldn't get it to move. So, and that one, we didn't get it to move either. So what we ended up doing was taking a chisel and chiseling the mounts off the bottom of the rad in order to get the radiator out. So we didn't break the radiator in the process, so we're going to stick the radiator back in. We'll have to come up with a way to mount the radiator back in so it doesn't vibrate and go into the fan. But here's the air conditioning condenser, the oil cooler. I think that's what that is the oil cooler, which I have a feeling we'll end up having to put a new one of them in probably at some point. But the air conditioning never worked on this tractor. There's the compressor and everything. And I ended up cutting the belt whenever I went in with the Sawzall to cut the plastic shroud, which is laying over there, because we couldn't get that out either. So we just ended up taking the Sawzall and slit it right down the middle, we'll put it back in, but we'll put it back in and put some bolts in it. And it should be alright. But yeah, there's a belt that went around the air conditioning compressor in the process. I sliced the belt with the Sawzall, so the belt's no good, which it ain't that big of a deal. The air conditioning didn't work on the tractor anyways. But I'll lay that all over here. But I got the water pump out my truck, which I can walk out and show you. Here sits the 3020 with the cab. Let's see. But yeah, I went up to John Deere this morning and ordered it. They didn't have one in stock, which didn't surprise me. But here it is, the water pump. Bring it out here and throw it on the ground so you can actually see it. There it is. Actually, I'm going to take it back in the shed because I don't need it anymore. I always take the part with that I'm ordering with to John Deere just in case they have it in stock, and that way if they have it in stock I go out in the truck and look and see if it looks right, because John Deere's only one time given me a wrong part compared to our local McCormick dealer. They always give me the wrong part. But here's the water pump. Here it is. It's just like any old water pump. It has a lot more hoses and whatnot that go on it for the oil cooler and all that fun stuff. But this right here, just the water pump from John Deere, was $343. I didn't order it from John Deere. I ordered it at John Deere, but I didn't order the John Deere part. I ordered it from A&I, and that was only $209, I think. It should be in Wednesday. It'll be in Wednesday afternoon, but I can't get it because I gotta go to work, so I'll get it Thursday morning. But I was going to order this pulley too, which I'm gonna have to get it off now because that pulley was $164. Which if you ask me is completely stupid. There's no reason that the pulley has to be $100 and some dollars. I mean, that should only be like a $50 pulley at the most. But I'll have to get that off, so I'm going to take it over here and set it in the bench with soak it in penetrating oil. I'll let it sit there for a while. But yeah, so that's what we're up to this morning. Yeah, John Deere's, they're not busy during the week, so I like to go during the week in the morning to get parts. Because Saturday that place turns into a madhouse with all the do-it-yourselfers and whatnot. And since I have off 2 days during the week, it's pretty easy just to run up and get what I need. But and then I gotta fix this too. The muffler clamp's loose. We ended up having to re-weld the muffler here because I caught a tree limb and broke it. But that is what it is. But I mean, I really like the tractor, so Pap has different views on it at the moment, and he's the one that makes the payment on it, so I get a little bit of say, but he's the one that makes the payment at the end of the day, so but we'll probably end up keeping it. I mean, I like it. It's handy. It's a handy size. I really like it for hay binding because we have a New Holland 489 hay bind, and it tends to shove the little 5065E around on the hills, which, since this is broke, I mean, I could use the 3020, but it's just not as operator friendly. Which I have no problem using 3020. It's just every time you go to use it, you got to put 20 gallon of gas in it. Where these, you can just get in them and go. They use a little bit of diesel fuel, but well, I have to go up and check hay, and because like I said in a couple previous videos, I'm short mulch bales, and if the grass and the weeds are tall enough, I'm going to go mow a field of hay for mulch, which I'll end up having to use I'll use the 5065E, which is sitting right here. It fits across the bridge and down the road a little nicer with the hay bind. That's another reason we don't use the 3020 on the hay bind, is because it's a little tighter going down the road and across the bridge and up the field roads. But as always, I should have the 2750 back together this Saturday, so we can use it on the round baler, because they're calling for rain, but if I'm mowing mulch hay, I don't care if it gets rained on. So, but as always, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Have a good day, guys.